Hey up folks, I'm Psymon H, the naturally jacked 53-year-old, and in today's video, I'm going to explain the concept of progressive overload and how men can use it effectively inside their workouts to build muscle after 50. Now, if you're unsure what progressive overload is and how important it is, progressive overload is the cornerstone of building muscle, regardless of age. It's the principle of continually increasing the demand on your muscles so they can continue to get stronger and bigger. When it comes to seniors, it's not about building muscle to look good. It's about independence, functionality, and overall health. As muscle is the organ of longevity, because it combats age-related illnesses and diseases, it stands to reason that if we can get a little bit more efficient at building a little bit more muscle, we can stride into our later years with a bit more strength and confidence. Now let's dive into why progressive overload is crucial for building muscle. Are you ready? Come on, let's grow. Now picture this. You start lifting weights, doing push-ups or any resistance training exercise. Initially, it feels challenging, but as your muscles adapt, that same weight or intensity becomes easier. This is where progressive overload steps in. By gradually increasing the weight, reps, or range of motion, you keep challenging your muscles to adapt, forcing them to grow stronger. But that kind of leads us to this question. Why is it so important for seniors? Well, as we age, we naturally lose muscle mass and strength, a process called sarcopenia. This can lead to a decrease in mobility, increased risk of falls, and loss of independence. Progressive overload through lifting weights helps combat sarcopenia by stimulating muscle growth and strength, ultimately improving overall function and quality of life. Traditional resistance training, while effective for some, may not be the perfect fit for everybody trying to build muscle after 50, and here's a few reasons why. Now, if you've lived a little, you can expect along the way that you might have some joint issues. As we age, our joints may become less resilient due to wear and tear over the years. Traditional resistance training often involves heavy weights and high-impact movements, which can put significant stress on the joints, exacerbating any existing issue and increasing the risk of injury. For seniors with arthritis or other joint conditions, this can be particularly problematic and may hinder their ability to perform certain exercises safely. The second issue is often we can have weaker tendons and ligaments. Tendons and ligaments, which connect muscles to bone and stabilize joints, also weaken with age. This can make seniors more prone to tendinitis, strains and sprains, especially when subjected to high forces generated during traditional resistance training with heavier weights. Overloading these structures without adequate conditioning can lead to injuries that take longer to heal and may require medical intervention. Also, as we age, there's a lower ceiling for progressive overload. Age-related physiological changes, such as decreased muscle mass, hormonal fluctuations, and a slower metabolism can affect the body's ability to handle heavier loads and recover from intensive workouts. The lower physiological ceiling means that senior may not be able to lift as heavy or perform as many repetitions as younger individuals, making traditional resistance training less effective for achieving progressive overload without risking injury. Which naturally leads us to our last problem, and that is that there's a higher risk of injury. When combining the factors such as joint issues, weaker tendons and ligaments, and a lower physiological ceiling, the risk of injury during traditional resistance training becomes significantly higher for seniors. Even minor mishaps or overexertion can result in strains, sprains, or more serious injuries, potentially leading to setbacks in their fitness journey and negatively impacting their overall health and well-being. Given these conditions, an alternative approach, such as the slow motion, high intensity training, offers seniors a much safer way of reaching progressive overload and in turn, building muscle. By emphasizing controlled movements, time under tension, and progressive overload, slow motion, high intensity training, aka SHIT, minimizes the stress on joints and connective tissues while still stimulating muscle growth and strength gains, all with less overall workouts per week. This can make it a more sustainable option for older adults looking to maintain their fitness and improve their quality of life without putting themselves at undue risk of injury. Now, instead of adhering to a brief concentric portion of the exercise and a 2-second concentric phase, which gives you every chance of something going wrong, slow motion high intensity training adopts a different tempo. Here, the focus shifts to elongating both the concentric and eccentric phases, aiming for durations of 5 to 10 seconds on both the concentric and the eccentric portion of the movement. Consequently, a single repetition spans 10 to 20 seconds. This deliberate pace distinguishes SHIT from conventional methods, prioritizing safety and control. And by embracing this slow approach, SHIT alleviates abrupt directional shifts with loads, thereby mitigating strain on joints and tendons commonly associated with traditional training routines. To understand how progressive overload fits like a hand in glove with slow motion high intensity training, you first have to understand the principles. The first thing you should know is that you follow 2 workouts per week using specific rep targets for upper and lower body. Beat the rep target and you increase the weight for the next workout. If you equal the rep target on the following week, you can still achieve progressive overload by aiming to complete an extra repetition. This simple yet effective and consistently challenging workout protocol gets you stronger and builds serious muscle while lowering the risk of injury. But Simon, are you sure this isn't just a gimmick? Well, let me tell you, this is a protocol that I've been using for the last 3 years, ever since turning 50. And it's the same protocol I give my clients. And we've been getting awesome results. Obviously, progressive overload doesn't just magically happen, and it doesn't happen all the time. Yep, there's a point when you max out your strength on a particular exercise over a training cycle. But there are a few things that you can do inside the gym as well as outside the gym to make sure you give yourself the best shot of progressive overload. Take, for instance, intensity. Now, it doesn't matter how fancy your training workout is, what sets and reps you're doing, what exercise you're using. If you're not using intensity, none of that shit, progressive overload or any of that shit, matters. When you work out, you're essentially telling your body, hey man, I need to be stronger and more capable to survive this environment. Think about it. If you can't move, you can't hunt. And you certainly can't defend yourself from being the hunted. Movement is crucial for survival, so our bodies have evolved to adapt to stress that threatens our ability to move, starting with our muscles and extending to all other supporting systems. So if you want to build muscle, your workouts have to be tough. That now sends a signal to your body that it has no choice but to adapt in order to grow. Now let's return back to progressive overload, because there's one little trick that is so helpful when it comes to trying to continually progress week on week, either by weight or by repetitions. And that is writing your workouts down. Now, this is my workout log. And ever since I started writing everything down, subconsciously, you start noticing how much harder you're training, how strict you're training, how much gear intent you're using when you train. Writing stuff down is that extra repetition, that extra few pounds, workout on workout. Now, if you just go into the gym and don't even bother writing anything down, you know those days when you get to the gym and Your head's not really in the game. It stays out of the game and you just go through the motions. But the moment you start writing stuff down, doesn't matter what kind of day you've had, when you get in that gym and progressive overload is the main objective, I swear, you look at those numbers and those numbers tell you a story. And that story says, well, it's up to you. Are you going to rise to the challenge or are you going to be defeated? And I swear, looking at those numbers does something to you. So remember that the next time you train. You write it down. Let's talk about the shit you do outside of the gym, because slow motion high intensity training is set up in such a way that it allows you adequate rest between workouts, gives you the opportunity to really recover from workout to workout, get your nutrition on point and your sleep. Because without those fundamentals, progressive overload is going to be impossible. Now, if you want to find out more about slow motion high intensity training, watch these videos. The link is in the description. Or better still, if you want a ready-made slow motion high intensity training follow along video-based workout program, check out the link in the description. Otherwise, this is the end of the show. Please like, please share, and tell a friend to tell a friend. It's awesome growing muscle after 50, and tell them it's their best chance of survival. Now, until the next time, stay strong, keep training, stay focused, and I will see you on the next bout. Peace.